Usually when people see a dead leg, they see it as something innocuous and an injury that you can come back from quite quickly, maybe in a few days, a week, but not for any prolonged period of time. Often people don't even give it a second thought, but they actually do carry quite a massive threat to health. So first and foremost, Ben, what is a dead leg?
It's often referred to as a quadriceps hematoma or a dead leg. And what that means is an external force impacts that quadriceps muscle and it squeezes or crushes that muscle against the femur, the thigh bone.
And so looking at our data from Premier Injuries, what does it say about the kind of danger to a playing career?
Yeah, so typically and generally, the assumption is that these things are fairly minor, fairly trivial, and that is reflected in the data. 76% of players who've, of reported incidents of dead leg, those players will typically return within around 7 to 9 days. However, there is a small percentage, around about 6%, where those timelines for return to play will extend beyond 3 weeks.
So why is there a big disparity? I think one that will come to mind is Leeds's Rafina.
Yeah, it is. So what typically happens when you have that impact injury, you burst blood vessels and blood seeps to in and around that structure. Now, that in itself can cause a lot of inflammation, pain. It can restrict movement. And as it begins to clot, then you have that formation of a hematoma. And that, as you referred to as, with Rafina, is what happened with him. And it was that caused the problem in that swelling of the leg. And obviously that caused further complications down the line.
Probably the most shocking in Premier League history was Christian Ziege. This one was not just kind of a bad dead leg. This was almost life-threatening, wasn't it, Ben?
It certainly was, yes. And it's one that I often refer to when people, because we do get a lot of questions through Premier Injuries about dead legs, and it's almost dismissed. It's a non-entity really. But I'll refer to this all of the time. And potentially, Christian Ziege went under emergency surgery, and, the doctors carrying out that procedure said he was possibly 30 to 45 minutes away from A, either losing his leg, or B, possibly even his life.
And why was this such a dangerous situation? Like I said there, not just for his playing career, but the actual kind of life of this guy.
Yeah, because again, he said, even by his own admission, he received a kick, nothing too major, part and parcel of the game. But as the night went on, that leg became a little bit more painful. The pressure in his leg began to grow. His blood pressure then began to fall. And that caused complications with regards to the pain in his muscles. And after that first emergency surgery, Christian Ziege would actually have to go in for his second procedure around 5 months later, and that was to remove dead muscle in the leg, all brought about by complications of that first impact injury.
And after that incident, though, he was able to return to a bit of normalcy with a footballing career, wasn't he?
He was, yes. I mean, massively impacted, of course. I think he made one competitive appearance over the next sort of 13 months. But again, probably was never able to return to his pre-injury levels, as he would expect from such a serious setback.
So in the future now, people, when they see a dead leg, do you kind of advise them maybe to not jump to conclusions and that, oh, he'll walk it off?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's easy to do. And like I say, you mentioned with Rafina, and that was one even members within the club, Marcelo Bielsa quoted as saying, don't worry about it. In 2 or 3 days, you'll be absolutely fine. Yes, it's painful, but look, it's nothing to worry about. This is just to say that, that's not always the case, and there can be complications. And there are, occasions where, you could be in serious risk.
Absolutely fascinating. And we hope to keep up more fascinating insights into the Premier League's most shocking injuries, because this is going to be a new series here at Premier Injuries. We're going to unite some of the most fascinating injury incidents in Premier League history with a bit of the science, a bit of the data as well. So do comment below if you have any questions or suggestions. We're going to be all ears here because it's a really fun, exciting series that we're going to be undertaking. So make sure to subscribe as well. Leave a like if you've enjoyed it, and we will see you again very, very soon.